December in Nigeria has a scent. Not jollof rice or harmattan breeze, no, this one is different. It is the smell of possibilities, the smell of my life must change, the smell of Detty December. And in the small town of Owo, 3 girls were preparing for the biggest December of their lives. Tommy, the lover girl who fell in love faster than MTN data disappears, Beezy, the dramatic one who believed Lagos men were her destiny, and Favor, the quiet but sharp-tongued one who always said, God will do it, even when she made no effort. For months, they planned. Every evening they sat at the backyard of their compound with suya and groundnuts, scrolling through Instagram, watching Lagos nightlife videos. See enjoyment. Beezy would shout. Sia's boys are spraying dollars. God, give me one IJHB boy that has sense. The plan was simple. Travel from Ondo to Lagos during December, look hot, meet rich foreign boys who came home for Christmas, fall in love, enjoy life, and hopefully secure a ticket to Canada, London, or America. They didn't know how it would happen, but hope is like Wi-Fi, you can't see it, but sometimes you still believe it's there. To prepare, they borrowed. They borrowed. They borrowed wigs, they borrowed clothes, they borrowed money, they borrowed perfume. Beezy even borrowed confidence. Her own was not enough. They went to a tailor who promised them premium luxury gowns, but delivered outfits that looked like rejected Aso Ebi. Still, they packed everything. When they finally boarded the bus to Lagos, it was like a movie. Tommy kept adjusting her hair every 2 minutes. Beezy sprayed body spray 5 times before they reached Oregon. Favor held the transport fare like it was her kidney. In their minds, they were already seeing Eco Hotel, Landmark Beach, Quillox, and men with accents proposing to them with dollars. When they arrived, Lagos greeted them like Lagos always does, with traffic, heat, noise. One conductor shouting, "Enter with your change." Oh, no change, and a fake Uber driver who almost carried them to Ikorodu instead of Lekki. But still, they believed destiny was calling. They rented a tiny short-let apartment on the island. 1 small bed, 1 standing fan that sounded like it was crying for help, and 1 mirror that made everyone look shorter. But they didn't care. As long as it was Lekki, they felt successful. Every night, they dressed up like they were attending a billionaire's wedding. And every night, they waited for their miracle. Then, finally, it happened. At a rooftop party in Victoria Island, under bright lights and loud Afrobeats, they met 3 IJHB boys, Sean, Tundi, and Richard. The boys had accents you could tell were borrowed from YouTube tutorials. "Hey ladies," Richard said in an accent even Siri would reject. "You're looking pung." The girls almost fainted. Pen? Bills? Abroad? They didn't need to hear more. The boys told stories about life in Canada, the UK, and the US. They claimed they didn't like spending Naira because our money is mostly in dollars in it. They even showed dollars $1 each, but the girls didn't notice. They danced, they took selfies, they laughed, and when the bill came, Sean said casually, "Babe, just cover this one. My money is in dollars. Once I change it, I'll pay you back double." The girls nodded. It made sense, in a very foolish kind of way. That was the beginning. From that night onward, the girls became full-time employees of the IJHB boys without salary. Every day came with a new lie, a new promise, and a new disaster wrapped in hope. If the boys wanted to go out, the girls paid. "I can't spend my dollars anyhow," Tundi would say, holding his chest like an angel of accountability. Exchange rate is crazy. If the boys wanted food, the girls cooked. If they wanted fuel, the girls bought it. If they needed data, they sent the girls. One day, Sean even said, "Babe, buy me toothpaste. I only use imported ones, but let me manage close-up for now." Still, the girls believed. One night, Favor asked, "Are we not spending too much?" Beezy hissed, "Do you want to remain in Ondo forever? Let us invest in our future." "In men," Favor whispered. "In destiny," Beezy shouted. They went to clubs, concerts, lounges, all on their account, literally. Every time the bill arrived, the boys gave the same story. "My dollars haven't cleared," or "POS declined," or "My UK card doesn't work in Nigeria." Sean even created a dramatic scene one night, shouting, "Barclays Bank don't embarrass me." He placed hands on his head like he lost a relative. People stared. Tommy defended him. "Please don't judge him, his money is abroad." Someone nearby whispered, "Then he should have stayed abroad." Favor began to suspect. Why do these IHB boys always smell like Appa and not Dior Savage? Beezy shrugged. Maybe they washed their clothes with sunlight. Still, the girls continued. Then came the biggest lie. Girls, get ready. We are taking you to the biggest New Year party of your lives, Richard announced. There will be celebrities, private jets, everything. The girls screamed. They even recorded small TikTok drafts to post at the venue. They bought new outfits, borrowed more money, and polished their accents to match the boys. Tommy practiced saying, "Oh my God, babe, you're so sweet," in a Canadian accent. It came out sounding like she had malaria, but she didn't care. 2 days before the big party, the boys told them, "We need money to prepare. Just send us something small for logistics." After that first night, the girls didn't sleep. Not because of noise, not because of heat, but because their minds were already abroad. Tommy lay on the bed smiling at the ceiling, replaying Sean's accent in her head. Beezy was texting her cousin, typing, "I think I've found my husband." Favor didn't say much. She just stared at her phone, scrolling through the pictures they took, zooming in and out, trying to understand how 3 men could look so rich and still ask them to pay small bills. Morning came quickly, and with it came Sean's first message of the day. "Good morning, my queens. Hope you slept well." Tommy almost screamed. That was all it took. Breakfast was forgotten. Hunger disappeared. Lego's sun felt softer. Everything suddenly made sense. The boys invited them out again, brunch at a small place in Lekki. The girls dressed like women who had already escaped Nigeria mentally. Heels, lashes, confidence on loan. At the restaurant, the boys ordered freely. Sean spoke to the waiter like a regular. "Bring the platter, the shrimp, the mocktails, make it quick." Tommy watched him in admiration. This is how rich men behave, she thought. When the food came, the boys barely ate. They talked instead. About flights. About visas. About how stressful life abroad was. About how Nigerian girls were more real than foreign girls. Then the bill came. There was a small pause. A dangerous pause. Sean tapped his pocket once. Twice. Then smiled. "Ah, babe. I forgot my wallet. My UK card has been acting up since I landed." Beezy laughed loudly, forcing humor. "It's okay, I'll sort it." That was the first lunch. The second lunch followed the same pattern. Dinner too. Clubs at night? Same story. Each time, a new excuse. "My dollars are still in domiciliary. The exchange rate will cheat me. My bank app is locked. My account manager hasn't replied." And each time, the girls nodded like it made sense. By the 4th day, the boys had become comfortable. Too comfortable. Sean started sending Tommy to buy him things. "Babe, help me get boxers. Babe, help me get data. Babe, fuel is low." One afternoon, Sean casually said, "Can you send me small money? I'll pay you back once my dollars clear." Small money became big money very fast. The boys moved into a new routine. Wake up late. Eat what the girls cooked. Go out when the girls were ready to pay. Post pictures online with captions like "Home for the holidays" and "Soft life only." People commented. Fire emojis. Love emojis. Nobody knew the truth. Favor began to notice things. She noticed that Sean never changed clothes often. She noticed Malik avoided places where payment would be demanded up front. She noticed their accents disappeared whenever they were angry or tired. One night, while the boys were in the bathroom, Favor whispered, "Have you noticed they never bring money out?" Beezy hissed. "You think rich people carry cash? But they don't carry card either." Tommy defended Sean fiercely. "You're just overthinking. Not everybody is broke like our exes." Favor went quiet. As days passed, December grew louder. Concerts everywhere. Prices rising. Bills increasing. The boys suggested attending a popular concert. "VIP tickets," Sean said confidently. "Don't worry, I'll handle it." The girls smiled. At the gate, the ticket seller said, 85,000 naira each. Sean froze. This guy doesn't know me," he whispered. Then turned to the girls. "Babe, just pay first. I'll transfer." They paid. Inside, Sean danced like the king of enjoyment. He recorded videos, spraying imaginary money. Tommy danced with him, laughing, unaware that her bank balance was now crying quietly. Later that night, Malik complained his shoes were dusty. "Babe, help me clean them," he told Beezy. Beezy cleaned them. Another night, Sean said he missed home food. Tommy cooked. Another day, they said their Airbnb needed groceries. The girls went shopping. Soon, the boys weren't even pretending anymore. One afternoon, Sean said, "Babe, can you help me book Bolt?" My app isn't working in Nigeria. Tommy booked it. When the driver arrived and asked for payment, Sean stepped aside like it wasn't his concern. By the second week, the girls had borrowed again. From friends. From coworkers. From people who trusted them. Each borrowing came with a lie. I'll return it next week. My uncle is sending money. We're doing something big. December was moving fast, and so was their downfall. Then came the biggest promise. The boys called a meeting. They sat the girls down like parents about to announce good news. Girls, Richard said seriously, we want to do something special for you. Sean nodded. A New Year party. Private. High class. People with money. The girls screamed. Celebrities will be there, Malik added. It's invite only. Tommy imagined herself entering 2026 in gold heels, champagne in hand, life changed forever. But there was a catch. We need to sort logistics, Sean said gently. Just small support. Transport, outfits, preparation. The girls didn't hesitate. They gave everything. That night, they laid out their dresses, practiced poses, rehearsed captions. They slept in makeup, afraid excitement would escape. 8 p.m. came. No call. 9 p.m. No message. 10 p.m. Phones rang endlessly. By midnight, panic entered quietly. At 2 a.m., Tommy whispered, what if something happened? At 4 a.m., Favor said nothing. She already knew. In the morning, the girls went to the boys' apartment. It was empty. No clothes. No bags. No boys. Cleaner sweeping the floor. Where are they? The girls asked. The man shrugged. Dem don't travel. Dem check out early morning. Not airport, dem rush go. Travel. Just like that. Everything became quiet. Too quiet. The kind of silence that feels like heartbreak. The girls stood outside the apartment like abandoned puppies. Their phones had no notifications. Their accounts were red. Their dreams were gone. Their Detty December was over. They had been officially Detty. When the girls returned to their apartment, the entire neighborhood could feel their sorrow. Even the standing fan looked sad. Favor cried first, long, loud, dramatic. Beezy paced up and down saying, God forbid. Me? Scammed? Me? Beezy of Lagos. But it was Tommy who scared everyone. She sat still. Too still. Like someone unplugged her from life. Her phone dropped. Her wig shifted to one side. She wasn't blinking. 2 weeks after they returned to Mondo, the real consequences began. Tommy missed her period. Then another. Then she fainted while buying pure water. Hospital result, pregnant. The room went silent. The doctor shook his head. The girls cried. Reality slapped harder than NEPA voltage. Tommy didn't know how to tell her mother. She didn't know how to pay her debts. She didn't know how to forgive herself. For months, she battled shame, depression, and regret. Rumors spread. Aunties started gossiping. Some neighbors mocked them. Chevy they went to Lagos to look for IJHB boys. They brought back pregnancy and debt. But her friends stood by her. They worked. They saved. They paid back debts little by little. Slowly, painfully, they rebuilt their lives. When Tommy finally gave birth to a baby boy, she cried, not from sadness, but from strength. She named him Oluwadamilare. God has vindicated me. One quiet evening, as they sat outside watching the baby sleep, Tommy looked at her friends and said, we suffered, we were foolish, we were scammed, but we grew. We will rise again. Beezy nodded. I will never date an accent again unless it comes with proof of bank statement. Favor laughed. Next December, we go Lagos again, but this time, now we go scam them with sense.